Hello Virgo, thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Star Tarot by Kathy McLeland. There's Kathy's website if you would like it. Feel free to freeze frame if you need the spelling, of course. Supportive Oracle cards. Energy Oracle cards by Sandra Ann Taylor. Got some websites for Sandra. They're all Hay House websites, but still. There's a few different versions, so feel free to freeze frame and use what you need to if you'd like to, of course. Okay. Bam. What do we have for Virgo? Virgo. Virgo, go, go. You might have to sort something out. You might have to sort something out. Now, sorting it out, I wouldn't say it was the hardest thing for you to do, but I almost feel like making that decision to do it is the thing. Because when I'm feeling this, it's kind of like, well, if that's not really my thing, like, or if I don't feel like I should be owning that, if I feel somebody else should be owning that. Fair warning, cat's being a little uppity, so you might jump into frame. If I don't feel like it's mine to own, I'm like, I don't see, like, if I didn't do it, if I'm not connected to it, why should I be a part of it? Whatever this is, it's making the commitment to sort it out. I feel like that's where we're being angled to, where you can be the most empowered. Because if you get in there and you sort this out, I feel like this kind of shapes up in a way that it's not as aggravating for you. At least it's going in the right direction, whatever this situation is. If you let other people, or if you step back and you just wait to see what happens, I feel like the stress level goes way up. I feel like the aggravation level goes way up. The thing is, looking at the situation, you know, like, it's like seeing it right in the beginning. You're like, you already see where a couple things are like, that's out of order. That's not going to go the best. It's kind of like, you know, it's just getting things out of order. I don't know how to explain this. It's like, if you just make it very simple, it's kind of like, you know, 3 goes after 2, and then you got 3, 7, 8, and you're like, wait a minute. No. There's a couple things missing in here. You know there's something missing. Let's kind of get that where it's supposed to be. Kind of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you're kind of like, let's get those in there. We know those are supposed to be in there. And it's like whoever's doing it is kind of like they're skipping things, and they're like, oh, when I find them, I'll just put them where they go. And you're like, that's not going to work as well. That's not going to make as much sense. You know what needs to be done. I'm getting the Queen of Swords, kind of like, you know what needs to be done, but part of you is kind of like, I don't want to be the one sorting it out. I feel like that's a big piece of it, because you do have the Devil card here also, but that can be a compatible card, kind of like, I don't really want to, but if I do put it in order, and if I make it go right, it will be better for you. Ultimately, it'll be better for everybody else too, whether they agree with that or not, wherever you want to go with that. There's a lot of earth coming in. You also have the 6 of Pentacles balancing this out. It's not just for you, but it's for other people who, like, not like, when I say other people, like, there's people you're directly dealing with, but there's other people over here to the side who don't really seem to have any control or any say about what's going on. You're actually helping these people who are just kind of stuck in the situation. You're making it easier for them too. So you're very helpful, you're very good. You're making a very positive impact. It's just this energy where you're like I'm a little bit annoyed with it. You can supply the stability in this situation. I feel like there is a little bit of a push and pull here where you have to explain to somebody why they need to do this in a better orderly fashion, why we need to make sure, like, no, we shouldn't skip 4 and wait till it shows up. We need to find it. and put number 4 where it goes. Then we need to find number 5 and put number 5. We can't just skip from 3 to 7 and just be like, well, when it shows up, we'll just deal with it. No, there's a reason they go in order. They need to be, like, you have to, like, explain to somebody, like, this is why you need 4, because if you have this space here, you might have things that you're missing. By the time you get to 7, things aren't going to look right, because step 7 is required. You know, there's things that you accumulate in step 4, 5, and 6 that will help you in step 7. If you don't do those, but if you just jump to step 7, you're going to do it half-assed, and it's not going to come out right. It's going to be, like, then you're going to have to come back and do rework, and there's no point in doing rework. I feel like I almost want to yell at somebody to say that. Like, there's no point in doing rework. There's no point in doing it, going back and filling in things later and then just doing it again. You wasted time trying to do it to begin with. There's other people. I get, like, there's other people who don't have control that you're making this a lot easier for them too. I feel like I want to address the frustration though, because it's like, it is an annoyance to convince people to do things in order and get things done correctly. I don't know. I feel like that's obvious, but, like, to you it's going to look like, well, this is obviously the correct way to do that. And other people are kind of pushing back like, no, that takes too long. And you're like, it doesn't take too long if you end up just redoing it anyway. You're going to take longer redoing it. It makes no sense. It's like, I feel like I'm having a very aggravated fight. I don't know, like, not argue, like, argue, but it's kind of like, it's obnoxious. It's kind of like they're splitting hairs and they think it's going to be quicker to just do as much as you can as soon as it's right in front of you. And you're like, not if you have to rework it. It's something, if you do it the right way, it'll take you an hour and a half. It's another thing if you do it and just do it as things come into you and it takes you 2.5 hours, but you were running back and forth, you just don't realize you were running back and forth because you were so busy running back and forth. Like, you're like, it still takes like an hour longer to do it your way. It doesn't make sense to go out of order. Find the pieces that are necessary. It's weird. The aggravation level is there. Because I feel like one of the ways you're going to handle this, if you decide to engage with this, is to put it in order, but you'll be the one, you get to step 3, and then you're like, well, I'm not skipping to step 7. I'm going to start finding step 4, and I'm going to start working on step 4. You're not going to waste your time. So I feel like you're going to try to convince people to do it this way. It's almost like you're doing step 4, you're finding it, putting it together. You're getting people, the more you do it this way, the more people start to support you. And you will have people aligning with you. And then you're going to notice, like, people who jump to step 7 have to come back and figure out what you did and then add that information in. You then go on to step 5 because step 4 was complete. And the people who refused to do it in the right order, they're the ones running back and forth. And I feel like you're not. You're kind of like, listen, no, I did it. It's secure. If don't mess things up, take the information, like, copy the information, but don't take things out of order. I put it there for a reason. So leave it, build from it, but you're going to have to redo what you did. I'm not redoing what I did because I did it right. There might be a little bit of a moment where you have to kind of stand up to people and say, listen, don't undo what I did because I did it right. You can look at it, you can copy it, but do not undo what I did. Mine's done right. Yours is done wrong because you didn't do it. You didn't have the information to do it right, so you have to redo it. I feel like you might have to stand your ground with that. Kind of like, nope, don't try to change what I did to suit what you did in number 7, because yours is wrong. Leave mine alone. Mine is built from 1, 2, and 3. I took the information from 1, 2, and 3, and I gathered all the information that I needed for number 4, and I built 4 correctly based on the information from 1, 2, and 3. Don't reconstruct mine to try to make 7 make sense the way you did it, because you did it wrong. Don't do that. Okay, the aggravation is real. Pulling back every now and then and keeping it together is something, because when all is said and done, you're going to be right. I don't know why I keep saying that, because I feel like you're going to be like, well, I know. The aggravation with other people, you just got to keep yourself in line. You got to talk to it. Make sure you talk to it. Make sure you communicate. I think that's a big piece of this. Make sure you keep communicating along the way. I'm doing number 4. This is why I'm doing that. Communicate it. I don't know if you have to argue, but in the sense of, like, only time I feel you need to argue is like you have to stay on point and do things in order and don't let people push you off that. Or if people try to come back and they try to reconstruct what you've done and you're like, no, Mine make sense because they're built from principles from 1, 2, and 3. Don't try to change my stuff to make your stuff make sense, because that's not going to work. That's still going to fail. Let's not do that. We're not going to. So make sure you communicate, and just hold your ground and be like, nope, 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 that's not how that works. Don't deconstruct my stuff. There's a lot of also like people running back and forth and trying to make sense of this and trying to make sense of that. If this is a job situation, I would advise trying to have some type of trail, like some tracking trail showing what you did and why. I wouldn't go crazy like over validating what you did, but like I would have some type of trail saying, this is why I made this decision, this was here at the time, this is why I made that decision, this is where I learned that, this is why I made that. Even if it's just for yourself, maybe personal notes, so you can look back at it and be like, well, this is why I made that decision, and this is why I made that decision. If you're literally writing out on like a spiral notebook in your own handwriting, if you're making notes that way, make sure that notebook stays very private and to you. If you end up going into a meeting where they want you to talk about why you did what you did, I would bring digital copies, like take pictures with either like your phone or something of all your pages. Bring that into the meeting. Don't bring the notebook. Because I don't like that idea for some reason. It bothers me. Bring like digital copies that are on maybe your tablet or on your computer, or if you're on like whatever, or bring copies of it so that you can be like, okay, yep, these are my notes, and that way you can share them with other people. But don't let other people touch your notebook. I don't know, for somebody that makes sense. Like, just don't do that, because there's some slippery nickels out there, and they might pull some games. We don't need that. Ultimately, you're going to be the one who makes this situation work out. This situation does work out. It's very interesting because you got the lovers with anxiety, and I'm getting like other people are going to realize that you kept it together. Certain people are. I don't even feel like you need to call them out. It's going to be obvious that they screwed some things up. You don't even have to say anything. All you have to do is show why you made what decisions you made and the reasons behind it, and yours is going to be fine. But when that's shown, other people, like people who jump from step 3 to 7, it's going to be very clear like that was a bad idea, and they ran way too far ahead, and they made assumptions that were completely wrong, and they caused a lot of double work. Rework, double work, whatever you want to call it. Are we good? It will work out in your favor. They're saying the more vocal you are, like you want to use more, you want to be careful how you say things. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the people that make sense for you know what I mean. You just want to be careful how you say things. However that needs to go. Because other people are going to get stuck in this quandary where they don't know what to do. And you're going to have the solutions. You're the success coming in from it. So be careful how you talk to people, because I feel like the bridge you burn today is the one you have to cross tomorrow. Even though you're right, just keep that in mind. If you burn a bridge today, you're gonna find that you need that to cross tomorrow. I don't know. Trying to be patient with people is difficult in this situation because there's a lot of frustration. I give you that, but the people that are annoying to you today, somebody you yell at today, you might need their help tomorrow. It may not seem like it right now, but you may be surprised. They'll be more of an ally. Especially where I feel like it's going to be very obvious that you got this situation to work out. So if you can be nice to them today, whether it's warranted or not, it will pay off for you later. Are we good? All right. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below with the same email. Thank you again for watching, and have a great day.